Good morning and welcome to today's Smart Business Strategies podcast. I am Anna Wiles, the Franchise Economist. I am delighted to have you here. We have got a very special guest, Trisha Bertelson with IV Nutrition. Trisha, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Anna.
I am so excited that you are here. Just yesterday, I had a conversation with a childhood friend of mine about how a mutual friend of ours was sent by her concierge doctor to a concept like IV nutrition just yesterday because of the illness that she had, and she's been dehydrated and needed electrolytes and that sort of thing. So, I mean, this is very topical, very topical. Okay, so start us off by sharing a little bit about you in IV nutrition with the audience.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry to hear about your friend being sick, but I am so happy that there are concepts as IV nutrition and other ones that your friend was able to go to and get some relief from her sickness. So that's a sad story on her part, but great to hear that someone could help her out. Again, I'm Trisha Bertelson, Vice President of IV Nutrition. I've been in franchising for almost 5 years. IV Nutrition, though, I absolutely love this brand for reasons that you just explained. We're a purpose-driven brand focused on helping people live healthier, more balanced lives through science-backed wellness and proven systems. And my role is to connect with passionate entrepreneurs who want to build something that's going to impact their communities while also owning a business that's going to have some strong financial potential.
And so just as I mentioned yesterday, a friend of mine went to a local, I don't know what we call it, an IV drip
bar. Yeah.
I don't know that it's a franchise, but the point is, what makes your brand, IV Nutrition, unique or special in this wellness space?
Yeah. So what really sets IV Nutrition apart is how we blend medical precision with personal touch. So everything we do is customized to you walking in our clinic doors. And we've built a model that simplifies complex wellness services so it is accessible if you're sick and need to get in quickly. Our franchisees benefit from clinical credibility, but also a leadership team that's very deeply involved in their success. At IV Nutrition, we have 5 key differentiators. So number 1 is that we hold the medical oversight at every state level. So you could, Anna, you're not a doctor, right? You could come in and you could own an IV Nutrition. That's really exciting for the person who's passionate about health and wellness. Number 2 is that we are a functional clinic. So a lot of times people think about IV drip bars and they're thinking about hydration. And yes, we absolutely can do hydration, and we do, but we're so much more than that. So come in and get your blood work done. Let's figure out what's happening in your body. Number 3 is that we have a compounding room in every clinic. And what that means is we're getting our nutrients and vitamins on site as soon as we know what that client needs for that very day. So nothing is pre-mixed. And the reason we do that is when we put that in the hydration bag right before we, put it in your body, you're able to absorb 100% of it. It's 100% bioavailable. You're going to get the highest efficacy of those nutrients. The 4th one is one that's a very big differentiator, especially for me working in this space, is that we take our 6% royalty off a gross profit, not your gross sales. And we believe in really helping our franchisee ramp up and become profitable. And then the 5th is that we do have an expedited build out because we're partnered with a construction company. So when our franchisees, their site is ready to go, they're just waiting for their FF&E. We're going to send a truck out to them. We call it store in a box, and it has all of the items procured for them to move it in and be ready to open.
There are 2 comments I want to make on those differentiators. One, I have never heard of a franchisor basing their royalty on gross profit, not gross sales. So that is massive. Right. Then the other thing is I absolutely love that you're a store or a clinic in a box, because one of the criticisms of franchising is, Trisha, is, franchisors can sell you a franchise, but getting the new owner open can sometimes really drag out. And that is a huge consideration for people to take into account. And I love that about IV Nutrition. Okay, so now let's have you describe to the audience, what is the role of the owner? It's my understanding that there are really two roles an owner can have. Please explain that to the audience, Trisha.
Yeah, there are two ways that an owner can be a part of IV Nutrition. The first is going to be they're the owner and they are the operator. Of course, that does mean that they need to have some medical licensure. They would be an RN to be in that clinic day to day running it. So again, they have to be an RN themselves. The second way to be involved is the owner and manager model. So you manage the manager, I think is how we like to say it, right? And so you're going to hire an RN who's there day to day, running your clinic, scheduling your employees. But in the background, you're going to, as an owner, be your clinic's biggest ambassador. You're always watching the books, the KPIs, and you're also making sure the right marketing is running and that it's bringing a return. And outside of that, I always say just be available so that your team knows who you are. And if you needed something, they can say, I have your cell phone. I could reach out to you. That's, put a good team in place and then give them the confidence to run and kind of just step back. If you're not the operator.
It's my understanding that another important part is if you're not daily involved, if you're not the RN or higher with medical licensure running the clinic day to day, that you're networking out in the community. And as you said, being the ambassador so that you're the face of the business in the community.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think the more that you can speak to your business and just cheer it on, right? You're its biggest cheerleader. Go meet with professionals and other business owners in your area. We have a 3-phase marketing program, and one of the phases is partnering with healthcare providers in your community. And that's an area that I think owners can always shine, right? Especially if they come in with a business background, is let's go meet with some oncology clinics or some hospitals and just share, hey, we're IV Nutrition, we're in your community, and this is what we do. Would we be a great referral for your patients? So there's so many ways to be involved as an ambassador in kind of boots on the ground, community focus efforts.
Trisha, what kind of background is required to be a success with IV Nutrition? Is any particular background or experience necessary?
Really, there isn't a specific background, but what I like to see is if someone is, and I think this comes down to any franchisee, is if they can follow the model. That's going to be huge. But if even beyond that, if they have some people management skills, that's great. It's not a must-have, but it's a nice to have. And then also a passion for health and wellness. So this isn't completely new to them. They can talk the talk. Those are kind of the 3 things that I think are important to me. Of course, we also have a list of, if you've managed people, if you've done A, B, and C, but they're not requirements.
It sounds like the biggest thing is someone who wants to make a difference in people's lives, be involved in their community, really have an impact, and live a healthy lifestyle and help others do the same.
It really is. We see a wide array of clients walk in our door, from people who do need hydration because they had a little too much fun the night before to the person who's trying to, live till they're 100 plus, to a professional athlete.
I'd like to share a personal experience I had getting some IV nutrition. Is when my family and I went to Alaska, and the only way to get back to Atlanta, Georgia, was on a red-eye flight. It did not matter what the airline was, just if you're going to fly from Anchorage to Atlanta, you're doing it on a red-eye. And jet lag really knocks me out like for days. So on the way to the airport, we went and got something called like a jet set pack or something like that. All four of us got an IV, what do you call it? IV session or medication. And you know what? It worked.
Yeah.
I arrived from getting incredibly little sleep, if any sleep. And I came home and I wanted to vacuum my house. Usually I want to come in and collapse on the sofa, not even bring my suitcase in from the car, and stay on that sofa for 3 days, and then I might get up. Okay, so I can say it was amazing. I became a believer after that. It was a wonderful experience.
I love hearing that. And, that's just a testament that IV can be a powerful tool in everyone's life, especially if you're on the run. And for you, I'm going to bet they put some B12 in that, and that really got you active. But also you'll find that it's the thing that can pull you through, like, because it is getting put into your body intravenously. You're soaking all those nutrients up. Whereas if you were just, popping your B12 on the airplane and your vitamin C, you're only getting maybe 30% absorption. Right. So now you got all of that and you were hydrated. You came home ready to get going on your next trip.
I did. I absolutely did. All right. So Trisha, let's talk about your labor model. How many are needed? Do you help with recruiting and training? These are all big questions I get as a franchise advisor all the time.
And they're so important, right? Our labor model is lean and efficient. It's extremely simple. Most locations operate with a small team that's going to be typically 4 to 6 employees. And let's go through the breakdown on that. So you're going to need a clinic director who will run your clinic, an assistant clinic director who will, make sure that your clinic director can have some work-life balance. And then you're going to have 2 to 4 IV technicians who are part-time employees, and you'll plug them into your scheduler as needed. And they're coming from the EMS, paramedic, firefighter world. So they're easy to find. And, we all know a nurse who maybe works in a stressful environment, a hospital, long hours. Come work for us. It's 40 hours a week. It's a spa-like environment, and our clients are electing to come in. So that's really great. Our owners are finding their candidates, they're recruiting locally. So often they'll find those candidates through their own personal networks. Maybe they'll reach out to healthcare networks in their community. But we support our owners with hiring resources. We give them the job templates. We give them a platform to push it out to many different job posting sites. And then we provide the hands-on training to ensure that every team member is confident and capable from day one.
That's fantastic. That really is wonderful. This show is called Smart Business Strategies, Trisha. What is a smart business strategy that IV Nutrition uses that you really like the audience to have as a takeaway?
A smart business strategy for us is to invest in systems that help scale our franchisees. And so we've leveraged technology for scheduling, also for inventory, client management, marketing automation. And that way our franchisees can focus on the people walking through their door and not be buried in paperwork. So I would say the smartest growth happens when you're pairing that human connection with operational efficiency, which is something that we are very passionate about providing to every one of our franchisees.
Well, that sounds fantastic. So Trisha, if someone wants to learn more about IV Nutrition, what do you suggest they do?
Oh, Anna, I would, number one, tell them, reach out to you. You know our brand, you know our ideal candidate people. And so, that people ask your community is a huge part. You're going to steer them to the brand that's perfect for them. And so if this is it, you're the best person to guide them through before they come meet with us.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Trisha. And thank you so much for being on today's show. Audience, this is Trisha Bertelson with IV Nutrition. Thank you, Trisha.
Thank you for having me, Anna.
Absolutely. And audience, thank you for joining us. And be sure to come back next Wednesday at noon for 15 minutes. The founder and CEO of a very hot food concept that's grown like wildfire throughout the country is going to be on. Set your alarm. Don't miss it. Make it a priority to be here. I'm Anna Wilds, the Franchise Economist. See you then, and be wildly wealthy in all areas of your life.